They have people who sign up to have their child aborted in a black mass, and they get the blood of the child and the mother on the sacrifice, whatever. So,
all right. So we've talked on some of the attacks, I guess, when it comes to men and women, just in society and their roles from a couple of different angles. But then we have more direct attacks, and all of them are still at the family, right?
Right.
You have contraception, right?
Yep.
Contraception is attacking
stopping the family from existing.
Stopping a family from and being promoted is a good thing. You have abortion, which is, again, in a more brutal way and a more satanic way, stopping a family from existing.
Yeah.
And not only that, but then, so those are very, something like abortion is very direct, but then you have more indirect methods, like not necessarily influencing the family. So you have, state laws now in some places where a minor can get an abortion without their parental consent.
Yeah.
That then is now an infiltration into the family directly, right? Because you have a family unit, you have a mother, father, child. Those decisions like that, especially life-impacting major decisions like having an abortion, need to be discussed within the family.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
but they
that would go either way. Obviously, if you're coming from a Catholic perspective, that discussion is going to go different than if you're not Catholic. But even either way, I still think that child has to talk to their parents. They shouldn't be sneaking off.
They're purposely doing that. They, as in the abortion industry, they're doing it by calling it healthcare. They're doing it by calling it, now it's in a little pill form, and you just magic day after pill. You don't have to worry about it so much.
Just because you said that, before I forget, there's going to be a number up here. There's an abortion pill reversal hotline. We just went and did a tour at one of the women's clinics here. They let us know about the hotline. That's going to be right up here in big red letters, if red works. But there is an abortion pill reversal hotline. Though we had a video where the doctor explained it. It's probably going to be up before this one's up. So if you want some details there, go watch it. But horrific. They explained actually what it does and what the what that pill actually does and the method, and even kind of the sneaky ways they try to absolutely make sure that the baby dies, which obviously they do because that's the point of the pill. But it is reversible as long as it's caught fast enough. So if you know somebody heard something, there's a number here. Anyway, keep going.
Hey, man, that's awesome. That's abortion in general. It's an attack on motherhood, all that stuff. But it is, we've said this in other videos. If you haven't seen that video, Satan's Sacrament. Satan has always been a fan. He feeds off of it, and if you don't believe us, go look at what they fed to Baal. They've done
Moloch.
Child sacrifices for thousands of years before Jesus walked.
And it was always to gain something, right? Yeah. So in the Bible, they talk about sacrificing their children to, get good crops, and God rebukes this and says, "I'll take all of your crops away." But they're doing it for a gain, right? There's a sacrifice for a gain to this demon, Baal or Moloch or whichever name. I think it's interchangeable. I think it's the same deity though.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening now. We've talked about this. It's a sacrifice, a self-fulfilling sacrifice, sacrifice for self-convenience, right? You're now sacrificing your child so that you can go to college. You're sacrificing your child so that you can start your career. You're sacrificing your
Back
child.
in the old days, it might have been for crops or whatever, but it was still the same goal.
You are doing it for a reason to gain something that is in your mind better than the child, right? So completely demonic, completely satanic. It is a sacrament of the, I don't know, which they're both the same to me. Church of Satan, Satan Temple, Temple of Satanologists.
Yeah, but it literally the I don't know which one is the Church of Satan, but the people who practice magic and they do all that stuff, and they take Catholic hosts, and they one of the things, if you go watch a guy named Zachary King, he will explain how they literally do abortions. They have people who sign up to have their child aborted in a black mass, and they get the blood of the child and the mother on the sacrifice, whatever.
Oh, this video is getting flagged.
And it's deep enough in now, maybe not. But they
using
do.
AI now.
So it's not a funny thing. I mean, it's true. But they do these things. They do abortions as sacrifices today, and they call them sacrifices. That's what they do. And they if you want this spell to work, you have to have this abortion. And it's legit. Go look up Zach King. He'll tell you all about it. But
and there's nothing that will convince me that with the with other options available, there's nothing that will ever convince me that the entire abortion industry is not just one giant satanic cult.
Yeah.
That is incognito as doctors, incognito as having your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that how Satan should appear? Is what's the phrase? Appear charismatic, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they're trying to sell you something, but there's the options out there. I mean, there's never excuse for an abortion. C-sections save babies' lives. They can do C-sections late term. It doesn't have to be an abortion. It could be a C-section with an adoption.
Hold on one sec. Just because I know that there's might be somebody out there right now watching and saying, "Oh, well, they don't know what they're talking about. This abortion
You're
saved
wrong.
my life." There are times when
Ectopic.
there are things that, like an ectopic pregnancy, where they have to remove a baby. They have to remove, but the goal is not to kill the baby. The goal is to save somebody's life. And if it's possible to save the baby's life, that would be obviously on the top of the list. But there are things where medically it has to be done. We do hear all the time that people, I had this, my doctor said my pregnancy was unviable. That's something they like to say a lot. And so you need to get an abortion because this baby is not going to make it. It's going to have heart issues. Its spine is not developed. It's blah, 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 blah. And sometimes they're right. A lot of times they're right. But there are a lot of women out there who said, or families who said, nah, okay, I'll give birth to the baby anyway. I want to hold that baby in my arms. And how many times those kids come out completely healthy?
Or even if not, having the opportunity to potentially baptize them if they only live for a few minutes, right?
Yeah.
And what he's referring to here in Catholic teaching is called the double effect. It's when your intent is not to do harm, but it's to do a good, but harm comes from it. An ectopic pregnancy is a good example of that. The intent is to save the mother's life.
Right.
However, the unintended consequence is going to be the baby won't survive.
Yeah.
It would be very similar. I think I've heard another example as the birth control pill. It can be prescribed for things other than birth control to fix other things for women. And if it's being prescribed and used for that, and that is true to the person who's taking it, and it's not being used as birth control, then that would technically be a double effect.
That's true, but most of the time, I think that's a crack at you know what, because because they're trying to balance the hormones by giving them something that's going to mess up their hormones. There's other things that they can do to, but
and I don't know, but that would be double effect. I mean, it would be that person would have to still be
You're not
chaste,
doing it. You're
right?
not doing it for the for the benefit
yeah.
of being able to have sex unprotected, blah blah blah. Which there is no protected sex. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So abortion. We kind of got off on that as we tend to. There's something else though, and this one we only have a few minutes left, but maybe we'll start talking about it. So we talked about abortion. We've talked about the influence around infiltrating the family by giving the decision to minors when it should involve their parents. And Canada is, or some people in Canada. I'm not going to condemn an entire country yet, but
there's some good brothers and sisters in Canada.
They're taking this to a one step. Now, one thing we haven't really touched on. From the pro-life perspective, we've done IVF and we've done abortion. We have not talked about euthanasia yet. We probably will. I can't say the other word. So if you don't know what euthanasia means, Google it. But there's another word that's more commonly used. Matter of fact, that's the one that they use. And
Are you talking about the one where you self-delete yourself type of thing?
self-deleting,
Yes.
yes. Self-deleting. So yes, euthanasia is self-deleting, endorsed by doctors. So
Right.
you go in, it's a medical setup, and they help you not be here anymore. So Canada's taking our previous statement. Well, not yet. Again, not condemning the whole country. MAID, which stands for the Medical Association, Medical Assistance in Dying, has proposed minor euthanasia. So
that's not euthanasia. That's for that's not as deadly. It's euthanasia for kids.
For minors, yeah, without parental consent. So this would be for mature minors that are suffering, and the solution for that suffering is...
Isn't that the mature minor? Isn't that an oxymoron?
That is exactly how they have it written, is mature minors.
Because the word minor kind of indicates that they are not ready to make those decisions, right?
Yep, and so the proposals have suggested that the minor will ultimately take precedence. The minor's decision will ultimately take precedence over the parent's decision. So now, in Canada, if this goes through, you can have depressed hormonal teenagers being able to decide to walk into a clinic and end their own existence without even talking to their parents.
Yeah.
And endorsed by the government.
Yeah.
That is... I mean, we've said demonic way too many times, but I don't know if there's a better word for it. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Guys, just think about that. Teenagers are already hormonal. They're already unbalanced. You have, a teenager who gets broken up with in high school, and now in that altered state, potentially being able to go and just convince a doctor that they're depressed enough that this is the solution.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, it's disgusting when you think about what that actually means. That somebody can be deleted off the face of the earth,
especially a child.
Yeah,
with parents.
Yeah, I mean, I just
see. I only ever heard that they talked about this a bit in school. I went to Catholic school, and they'd talk about euthanasia, but they always, I think every time it came up to us, it was always like, maybe this is what it was when it was first rolling out. It was old people that like had cancer and didn't want to like.
Yeah,
didn't want to suffer anymore, and that's how it was always played to me. But now it's just, I mean, if you're willing to extend it down to minors without parental consent, this is the equivalent to abortion anytime for any reason.
Right.
Just it's now living people.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah, self-inflicted.
Supposedly. And how many people can be talked into this kind of stuff? Because you have people who, don't want somebody around, and they treat them. How do I say?
Like walk them into it,
bully them, gaslight them.
There's already instances of people being walked into suicide by people who they trusted.
You said the
like
word.
Through. There's a beat there. Being walked into it by people that they thought were their friends. Like, yeah, you should do that. You should totally do that. That would,
Yeah.
That's already happening. So now the fact that it could just be legal to do that. I mean, that was a bad thing. Like, people would get arrested for.
Right, and now it's
telling people to do it. Now it would be like, oh no, yeah, that's a state benefit. You should do it.
Right. Yeah, it's cheaper. You're still on my insurance. It's costing me a lot of money.
Anyway, out of time.
In nomine